In MCQ 18, we're taking a look at an energy profile diagram again. And for this question, this was an energy profile for a reaction that proceeded without the use of a catalyst. Now you can see that the reactant is above that of product. So if I have an A plus B, they give me my C. Again, reactant from the previous question have been mentioned to be given a value of 100 kilojoules. And since reactant has to possess a higher energy as compared to product, heat must have been released. And I'll give the heat out value of 10 kJ. And the values on the left must be tallied to the value that's on the right. So if 10 kJ has been accounted by the heat, this will have then tell us that the product is holding on to a heat amount of 90 kJ. So we are actually dealing with an exothermic reaction over here. The question, however, wants us to draw another profile when a catalyst is actually used. Now it's important to remember that catalyst does not affect enthalpy change. It remains to be at the same value. So for the case here, enthalpy change in the previous MCQ has been given as the indication from R to P. So labeling on the diagram, this is actually your enthalpy value, which should not change at all. However, what a catalyst does is that it provides an alternate pathway. And this alternate pathway serves to reduce activation energy. So activation energy have also been mentioned to be indicative from R to the peak of the graph itself. So in the original uncatalyzed diagram, this is the peak of the graph, this will have been your activation energy. So for the catalyzed reaction, the activation energy have to be much lower, but the enthalpy change should not have any alteration at all. The answer for this question here would have been D. You can see that the enthalpy change has actually been preserved. It did not change. But for the case of your activation energy, it's going to be much lower for the catalyzed reaction. Now, scrutinizing the rest of the choices, you can see that for A, reactant and product has become the same. So this is no longer an exothermic reaction. Same for B. However, they did reflect that there's a reduction in activation energy, but it's still wrong because enthalpy should not change. For the case of C, the activation energy has actually increased. On top of that, we have went from an exothermic reaction into an endothermic reaction because the reactant is now possessing less amount of energy as compared to product. So once again, the correct answer for this is D.